Hey everyone, Tech Steve here. Welcome back to the channel. This is the 65-inch Hisense U7SG, and so far I think this is a fantastic television. One of the things that they did change on this year model is that it has more of a anti-glare, it looks like a matte finish on it as far as the screen, so it's going to be great for rooms with a lot of light in it. The second thing is, on the original unboxing video, I didn't know for sure which processor was running this television, and it appeared that it's the MediaTek Pentronic 800, just so you guys know. Now on this video we're going to do some picture tests. I'm going to show you a couple of movies on it. We're also going to do some testing as far as the contrast, the blooming, and all that good stuff. And then I'm going to show you some results I got from checking out the brightness on the television, and then we'll wrap it up with some gaming. So if you guys been thinking about buying this Hisense U7SG, sit back and relax, and let's get started. Now I'm going to let you guys know that I'm going to be using Apple TV, and the main reason is because I already have my apps preloaded. Just saves a little time when making these videos. But one thing I want to point out here is that you cannot change the profiles in the television like the Apple TV. And what I mean by that is that I can manually select SDR, HDR, or Dolby Vision directly from the Apple TV. And by doing that, it's going to force the TV to go into these different settings. If you use the native applications in your television, then unfortunately it's going to take the highest resolution and automatically display it. So if you're watching something that's in Dolby Vision, you can't go back to SDR without having an external device. Just so you know. All right, let's just check out a couple of demos here. We'll use Dune 3 trailer, and a lot of people tend to like this movie, and third generation coming out if you've been waiting for it. But I'm noticing here is that the black bars here are rock solid. The picture is good. Now this is a YouTube demo, so it's not going to be as clean, but I want to show you how clear it can look whenever you have something that's recorded in HDR. So if you look at this scene right here, look at the color reproduction on it. The skin tones are really nice and natural. You can see those specular highlights. So this Hisense 7 series is doing a great job reproducing the image, but we got some testing to do. Let's keep going. So here's another scene, and as you can see here, the images look good, and we have great separations from the background to the colors. So far, I really like what I'm seeing, but let's check out some of the picture profiles in the television. Here we have Hijacked on Apple TV, and I want to show you what it looks like in vivid mode, which is not recommended, but if you go to standard mode, it's going to look a little bit more natural. This is what you want to watch on everyday TV. We also have a sports mode, and that's going to make everything a little more vivid. Energy savings mode, it'll dim the lights in it. But a lot of people tend to like the theater day mode. Now it's going to make the picture a little bit darker, but it will bring in some more details in the background with that nice warm color look to it. And then we have theater night mode and filmmakers mode. So these are all the settings when it comes to SDR. But now we're going to switch it over to HDR and see what kind of improvements we get and see what kind of settings that you get. And again, we're in the Apple TV. I'll just switch over to HDR. In HDR, you still have vivid mode, and really ideal if you just get in a dark movie and you just can't see anything. Now here we have your standard mode. We have the sports mode, energy savings, gaming. Now this is HDR theater and filmmakers mode, but to be honest, I don't see zero difference between these two. And this TV does have IMAX. So there's the different settings: HDR, filmmakers mode, IMAX once again. And in my opinion, you could just choose any of those. I think you would be fine, but a lot of times IMAX needs certain metadata. So if you're watching Disney Plus and you see IMAX, those are the type of movies you're gonna play to get that best picture quality out of it. But this TV looks really good. Now, one thing, I was over to the side of it, so we'll check the viewing angles a little bit later, but right here in front of it, spectacular. And then let's switch over to Dolby Vision. And you get the little placard in the corner. Just so you guys know, I did turn the camera down a little bit, just realized it's blowing out the words at the bottom, but here we have Dolby Vision IQ, Dolby Vision Dark, and Dolby Vision Custom. For me, I tend to like the Dolby Vision IQ the best. Dark just gets too dark, but the IQ is a really good balance. One thing you'll notice here, if you look in the dark, look in this area right here. When I switch it back to IQ, see, it brings out a lot more of those shadow details. But again, that'll be your choice of what you like and what settings that you want to use. And the last thing I'll show you is the intelligence settings, and this will actually readjust the picture automatically, which is a great settings for most people. So I turn it on, put the automatic picture mode, leave the energy savings off, leave the light sensors off, sound, that's optional. Now here's the automatic intelligent mode, and again, this for most people it's going to look really nice and you don't have to think about it. And it'll be up to you if you want to use the light sensors to adjust itself with the light in the room and everything. But if you're looking for automation, this is where to go. Now, after looking through all those settings, I think SDR theater mode might be one of my favorites. The next one would be Dolby Vision IQ. But again, this is something you could play with. And on all these settings, this TV has that nice inky look to it. So you're going to be very happy overall. Now let's check out the contrast, motion, and dirty screen effects. Personally, I use a Plex server here in the studio. Has all my demos on it, so I can just go through here and select it. So let's go ahead and start off with a blooming test. For this part of the test, I'm gonna turn off all the lights. That way we can see the TV screen a little bit better and see if we find any type of details that we might be missing with the lights on. So here's a credit test, and normally you can see blooming around the edges. I would say that I can see just a slight glow around here, but it is much better than the last year's series. Next, we're going to do a dirty screen effect test, and we're going to look for any kind of imperfections on the screen. And I'm going to tell you hands down, most TVs do not get a perfect picture. Now, this first part is really going to blow out the camera, but we're looking for, again, spots on the television. And now I can see from the center, that's just because the camera's too bright. And what I'm noticing here is that the center of the television is pretty much perfect. We get just some slight blotchiness on here on the side, but man, this is pretty solid. Not a lot of TVs can even pass this test. I always see it in the center of the television where it looks like these little mini maps on the screen. Now let's get into some darker areas just so we can see if we see any other imperfections. But this television is doing a great job. You guys are seeing what I'm seeing. There's no camera tricks here. And as you can see here, man, it's doing a really good job. Hisense really thought this out. I decided not to film sports that much anymore just because on the back end, there's too much copyrights that gets flagged on your videos. So let's check out some different tests I put together for motion, starting off with 24 frames per second. Okay, I'm gonna tell you right now, I did test this earlier. And as you can see here, 24 frames per second, you can see a little bit of jitter on the ball, but there's a trick to this. If you go into the picture menu on the television and you want it to be really smooth at 24 frames per second, just go into this setting. Go down to clarity, then go down here to motion enhancement. And as you see, there's standard, clear, film. You want to click on custom and go down to this judder. So let's play this over. Watch this. Okay, that's with the judder at 5. You can see the bounciness of it. But let's say we're going to move it up to 10 and do it again. So you still see the bounciness of it. The whole thing is that you can go adjust it. This is with the judder completely off. We do it one more time. Look at that. That's with the judder off. It's terrible. But you go in here and you change it to like 8, 9, or 10, smooths out. So in my opinion, this TV has great motion, but it will not be automatic. You have to go in here and do some minor adjustments. Now we're on 60 frames per second. I'll put the judder back in that middle. Smooth, so you can get even more smoothness if you want it, but a lot of times that gives you that soap opera effects. But as you can see here, 60 frames per second, you're not gonna have any troubles whatsoever out of the picture performance on this television. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the lights back on, but the last thing we're gonna take a look at is upscaling, and I would say there's some sweet spots on this television. This is 480p content, and it's not ideal for any scenario. So if you're getting a blurry picture, it may be because of the resolution. You're gonna see a lot of fringing here. You're gonna see blurry logos. So let's go and go up to the next level. So here we have 720p, a little bit improved. These lines are a lot more straighter. I don't see little jaggedies on them. And over here, the logo is a lot more cleaner too. So 720p, step up over 420p. But to be honest, this is what you wanna use. This is 1080p. Logo, 50% clearer. The lines straight, you don't see any issues with it. So this is gonna be ideal for this type of television, 1080p. So if you see that on Netflix or Prime or any kind of streaming application, that's where you want to make sure that you're playing. And then the last test here is 4K. The TV was built for this. Crystal clear logos, a little bit better colors, no lines right there, no jaggedy edges. So if you want to get the most out of these TVs, look for 4K. It is not a joke. That is the native signal of this television. It matches the pixels. And this Hisense is doing a great job from 720p up to 4K. But if you get into 480p, forget about it. Most TVs will be blurry. That's for sure. Now, as far as the viewing angles, I'm just using this portable camera. And let's start walking over here to the side. And as you can see here, you do lose some of the colors, but overall, I think it actually does a pretty good job considering that this is more likely a vertical alignment panel. Now, a lot of times Hisense do put different types of panels in their televisions, but I know the 65-inch looks really good when it comes to the viewing angles. So now we're going to check the brightness, and I'm going to be using a 10% window on the television. We'll go over here to the computer and start measuring it. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and flip through these different picture profiles. And this is at Vivid with the peak brightness turned on in SDR mode. And look at this. This thing is moving. It's adjusting itself, and we're getting about 2,500 lumens. If we go down to standard mode, you'll see that will drop, and let's let it level out. And we're looking around 1,780. Here's the sports mode. It'll drop down just a little bit. Energy savings, I think I have that turned off, so it's not going to make too many adjustments there. But you can see it's going down to around 1,200, and it's fluctuating. We go down to PC game, and this is going to be a little bit darker, around 515, 16. Theater day mode, and it's leveling out around 427-ish. Let's go to theater night mode. It should go down just a little bit. And it's leveling out around 237. And then we have filmmakers mode, and we're looking about 155 brightness. So again, this TV is actually getting very bright. So this TV does get really bright. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and stop this test. And then I'm going to go over here to the portrait display, and we're going to switch this over from SDR over to HDR10. So I'm going into the settings, and I'm going to change the brightness to make sure everything is maxed out, and it is. Now we're back on the continuous, and look at this, in HDR at Vivid mode, we're getting 3212. Let's go back into the TV and adjust the menu. HDR standard mode, we're getting around 2492-ish. Sports mode, around 2493. Energy savings mode, around 23, and is going down. In energy savings mode, it's balancing out around 1318 right there. HDR game, it did go back up, and we're leveling around 1383. And the last one, and then we have HDR theater, and we're around 1681. And then we have filmmakers mode. As I mentioned earlier, it's about the same brightness. And then we have IMAX mode, and we're finishing off around 1320 right there. So that's the different brightness in SDR and HDR. So now we have it in Dolby Vision mode, and this is Dolby Vision IQ, and we're getting a brightness around 2534. This is Dolby Vision Dark, but the interesting thing is staying about the same. Look, 2525. I'll go back to IQ, and it only goes up slightly. Now let's put it on custom, and we're getting about 2552. Now let's check out some gaming, starting off with the Xbox. But I'm just going to go through the resolution, and I'm not sure if my video card supports it, but I'll hook up a computer as well and see what kind of resolution we get out of that. So what we're going to do is go into your TV and display settings. And as you can see already, the TV does support 4K at 120 Hz for the Xbox. It also supports 1440p at 120 Hz, 1080p at 120 Hz. And if you really have to use 720p, it will drop down to 60 Hz. Now on the 4K TV details, it does support everything. And this includes up to 120 Hz on Dolby Vision gaming, which some of the older models didn't do that before. Now under video modes, everything's checked off, and plus we get variable refresh rate. Now that we're in here, let's take a closer look at the gaming bar. The way this works, you want to make sure the TV's in PC or game mode. Then you can press game bar, and this is everything you get. First of all, you can see all your frames and HDR, VRR here at the top. There's also different game genres. You can change the themes, dark details, you can see right there. And there's a brightness control, a few other things in here. If you go into more settings, you can see that it does support AMD FreeSync, and you can also get a frame counter, as you can see right there, and you can move it around the screen to wherever you want it to be. And then there's another game settings that lets you control the contrast, black levels, and there's another switch for the AMD FreeSync Premium Pro. And I'm sure we're gonna get the same settings in the PS5, but let's go ahead and check it out. To order check this, we'll go down to info with the connected devices. In 4K mode, we have the variable refresh rate as well as HDR capabilities, the same for the 1440p and the same for the 1080p. So you get the point. It will be able to support everything your gaming consoles do support. I'll play a couple of games here and then we'll put it in a PC to see what it can do.
Left 5 short into right 6 short.
Now I have the PC pulled up. Let's take a look at the resolutions on this TV. And keep in mind, Hisense says it will support up to 165 Hertz in 4K mode. Let's check it out. Now the computer I'm using does have the RTX 5060 video card, and right now you can see it's showing 60 Hertz. It is showing up to 330 Hertz. So let's just try it out and see if it works. This TV is supporting 330 Hertz, and this is at 1440p resolution, so that's pretty impressive. It even supports it at 288 Hertz. But what we're really trying to figure out if it supports 4K at 165 Hertz, because that's what's on the box. So here it is. Let's go and click on it. And there it is, 4K resolution at 165 Hertz. And this is good to know because if you have a gaming computer and you want to use this TV, you would be able to do it. Now, the computer I'm using has an NVIDIA video card, as I showed you a minute ago, but this TV is set up for the AMD FreeSync. So if you do have an AMD card, then you can get all the full features of the television. As I told you guys before, I'm not a big gamer, but I did download a stream and I haven't had a chance to play these games, but I'll load one up so you can take a look at it on the PC. Now this game is called Counter-Strike 2. It's one of the most popular ones out there right now for a stream. So there you have it. If you're a gamer, it's gonna work great on the Xbox, the PlayStation, as well as a gaming PC. All right, let's talk about the Hisense U7SG. Now, just so you know, the G is meaning that it has a Google operating system. And I really like this operating system because you can get to everything very fast. At the top of it, you can get to Google's live channels. And this is where you will find your channels when you're using your TV tuner that's built into it. And then you have a robust app store. And the thing that you can get here is a web browser. You can clean up your TV with the device assistant. You can also use your memory card to play on the TV, and you can hook up a television. As you can see here, it's loaded full of functions. Another feature I want to show you is called Gemini for TV. Now, if you press on this, the great thing is you can ask it any question that you like. And all you need to do is press this little microphone that's on the remote control. Why is the sky blue?
The sky appears blue due to a phenomenon called Rayleigh scattering. You
can even create images that you can use for your screensaver. Create an image of a giraffe driving in a Lamborghini. Check this out. It's a giraffe kind of behind a Lamborghini, which is pretty cool. And the great thing is you don't have to buy AI credits to do this, and you can save it right into your television and you can use it for screensavers. But that's just a few things you can do with Gemini. And these are some of the basic things you can get with the Google TV. And keep in mind, I made a video unboxing this television and I went through all of that. So I showed you guys everything that I could think of that you might want to know about this television, and overall Hisense really stepped up their game in my opinion. And if you're looking for a television that can perform very well, this may be the one for you. Now here's the thing, some people may want to wait, and that's a good thing because throughout this year I will be bringing out more videos. I will be testing this against the last year model, and there's a whole bunch of TVs that's still coming in on the back end of the business. So hopefully I can show you guys some other options that you may or may not like. And once all this is said and done, Black Friday hit and you can make the very best decision. But for now, I'm gonna give this TV a high rating. So far, what I see is bright, detailed. You also have that anti-glare coating on it, and this TV is very responsive. You got all the new software in it. How could you go wrong? That's all I have on this video, and if you guys have any comments, go ahead and leave that below. I'm Tech Steve. Thanks all for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.